Welcome back again to Charlie Tuk Tuk Network, where we bring to you everything you need to know about the Tuk Tuk economy. And today we are going to be showing you how to start the Piaggio Tuk Tuk and actually how to ride the Piaggio Tuk Tuk. Hiyo tunataka iishe na watu pale hivi, when you're thinking of going out there and purchasing the Tuk Tuk or leasing the Tuk Tuk from somebody, you are able to have the basic fundamentals that will enable you to actually enjoy this ride. Juu hata mnaweza enda na dereva na apate stroke, usicheze na tuktuk. Utafanya nini? Safari itaishia hapo ama utaingia ushike hiyo gari ujiendeshe wewe mwenyewe. So stay tuned and let's dive right in. So we have some basic principles in a tuktuk. Ya kwanza, tuktuk inakujanga na funguo of course, na inakujanga na starter, specifically the Piaggio tuktuks. They usually come with a key. The key, this is the key ya Piaggio. But you need to understand that the starter usually spoils very, very fast. Rarely will you have a starter that will last for more than 6 months or 12 months. So in such instances, starter imeacha kufanya kazi, then what is the thing that you need to know? You need to have a backup. And backup tumesema ni whether you are a tuk-tuk driver or you are a tuk-tuk owner, lazima ukuwe na funguo number 2. Hii haipoteangi, huwa ikwami, and you need to make sure that it is strong. So as I mentioned, this is the rope. At least you should make sure it is the span of your both hands. Mikono zikiwa zimefunguka zote, kamba ikitoshana na mikono, inamaanisha kamba iko sawa, inaweza gurumisha tuktuk. So now that we have the rope and tuktuk imekwama, rule number 1, before upige kamba ya tuktuk, you need to make sure that the gear is in neutral. Once, tafadhali, ukijaribu kupiga hiyo kamba, kama gear iko neutral, then ukijaribu kuzungusha flywheel, pia tuktuk itarudi nyuma. So inamaanisha gear iko on. Yaani kumaanisha ukigurumisha hiyo tuktuk na iko na wateja, watarushwa mbele na itazima tu bado. So for the purpose of demonstrations, we are not going to show you that, but you need to make sure that iko in neutral. So how do we check that the tuktuk is in neutral? Kitu ya kwanza kuconfirm, tuktuk niliwaambia ni nyepesi. So ukitaka tu kujua iko in neutral, unaweza tu kuja usukume. Unaona tukiweka ikuwe kwa gear, haiwezi enda, haiwezi. So tunaweka neutral. Yeah, once tumeweka neutral, simply means that tuktuk is good. So I mentioned the tuktuk is a rear wheel drive vehicle. Yaani kumaanisha tuktuk kuna heshima zake. So hii ndio flywheel. Kitu ya kwanza, flywheel unairudisha nyuma. Ukishairudisha nyuma, you need to make sure the rope has a knot. This knot will go into this spot. So inarudisha nyuma, unaweka hiyo knot hapo kwanza, unatega, and then you spin it anti-clockwise. Anti-clockwise hadi unakwanga umewekewa direction anti-clockwise. Now that you have done it anti-clockwise, sasa ndio unakuja napiga hiyo kamba. Kipiga hiyo kamba, hiyo tuktuk iko sawa. The next thing you do, that you have to go ahead and open for the passenger. So today, for purposes of this video, in your clutch, in your brakes, in your mafuta, in your mafuta, in your clutch, in your brakes. So when you want to start the tuk-tuk, number 1, you need to make sure that you observe the numbers. Zimeandikwa. Niliwaambia tuk-tuk ni manual, sio kama gari. Gari shifter inakuanga hapa. Tuk-tuk ni manual. Unaona hapa imeandikwa 1 neutral, 2, 3, 4. So if you want to start the tuk-tuk, you hold the clutch inside and then unaachilia pole pole and you will see the motion. Alafu sasa unaanza kuvuta mafuta. You now accelerate the tuk-tuk. And then sasa una change to number 2. Na change to number 3. Sana sana kwa mteremko unateremka na namba 3. So while you can either hold the clutch inside ukiteremka, or you can let the clutch be and you just accelerate. You just accelerate. This is for professionals. You only use one hand when you're a professional. When you reach at the bumps, you go back to number 2. You release the clutch. You listen to the engine. You change the gear. That is number 3. Wherever you're approaching a bump, back to number 2. Accelerate. Number 3. Accelerate. Always listen to the engine. Number 4. We're about to approach the bump. Step on the brakes. Release the clutch. You always ukiruka bump unaruka na namba 2. Ukiwa kwa mlima ndogo unaenda na namba 2, namba 3. So as you can see, when you're turning around the corners, it's as simple as that. There is nothing much about the tuk-tuk. I always tell you, hii tuk-tuk ni kama uko kwa gari ya safari rally. Whenever you're approaching the bump, back to number 2. Slowly but sure, you release. Accelerate. Put in the gear. Change the gear. Approaching the bump, brakes. Number 2. Accelerate. Now when you want to stop, for example, in such scenarios, you put it back to neutral. Now when it is in neutral, you're good to go. Now how do we go about when you're going to the reverse? You want to reverse your tuk-tuk. So we have 3 levers over here. We have the stopping lever. We have the start lever. You combine the start together with this button so that you can be able to start the tuk-tuk. And then we now have the reverse lever. So what you do, you push it below, you make sure it is hooked, and then you shift your clutch backwards like that, and you can accelerate a bit depending on how you find it suitable. Now when you want to turn, you lift the lever, hold the clutch, number 1, and then you can accelerate. Neutral. If you have passengers, unawashukisha. If you don't have passengers and you just need to enjoy the journey, this is how we do it.